looking for. This is non-squinting we're looking for.
So being Brandon McCarthy, the big veteran, your #1 pitcher in rotation,
right?
How huge is it going to be for the team the last month of the season, considering that most of the games are on the road?
Yeah, I think he's a guy that certainly doesn't put too much pressure on himself. He kind of insulates in his preparation and then goes out there and does his thing. And in turn, we feel great about the days that he pitches. Certainly his innings aren't at a level where we're concerned about anything there. He had a little break, and he's a guy we're going to count on. You always count on some of the guys with the experience going down the road, but we feel good about all our starters.
When he has such a delicate shoulder, though, how do you guard against something like that? I mean, knowing that's just part of his, part of the problems he's been having.
I don't know that you can. It just seems like kind of the same point in the time in the season, he has to go for an extended break, and then afterward, knock wood, and certainly the case last year, he finished up really strong and pitched very well after he, had a extended DL stint. So we're kind of in the same position right now, and since he's been back, we have not had any issues with him at this point. So hopefully that's not, hopefully it's the same thing as last year.
What can you say just about the overall improvements you guys have made on the road, playing on the road, as opposed to last year?
I think there have been improvements across the board. I mean, you look at our offense the last couple of months, or probably since the middle of June, we're a different team. And I think our road record, we're not afraid to play on the road. We've had some success on the road. So I don't think that's something we're looking at as daunting. The schedule is the schedule. There's nothing you can do about it.
I guess for maybe lack of a cliche, it's kind of just give you a chance to show your team what they're made of, I guess, right? With a month like this.
You mean as far as,
like you said, the schedule being what it is?
Yeah, we try not to even think about that. I mean, you're on the road, you play a game, it happens to be on the road, so I don't think there are any complaints or anybody's looking at the schedule and saying, we have X amount of games there. We're just trying to play for the day. We know we're going the road after today, and we just try to keep it pretty simple.
You're obviously looking at matchups and stuff with Moss and Carter and getting in the lineups, but how impressed are you with the way they've been able to hit? It's like you're pushing the right button every time.
Yeah, it's them. They're the guys that are performing. It's too bad one of them we can't have two DHs or two first basemen or something, get them both in the lineup. They've both been swinging the bat very well, so it's an easy and a difficult decision to put one in there on a particular day. Easy in the fact that you expect one of them to perform, difficult that they're not both in there. But as long as one doesn't sit for an extended period, you feel like you give them enough current at bats to where they feel good about it, and they're not haven't gone 5 or 6 days without the at bats where you kind of lose your edge. So we try to make sure that we get them in their best matchups and don't sit them too long.
So most of the time in the late of games, for example, you will switch one lefty for righty or vice versa.
Right.
Sometimes you will leave them regardless of who is pitching. What goes into that strategy in that precise moment?
There just seem to be a lot more reverse splits nowadays, and I think the cutter has something to do with that. So, you have a right-hander with a good cutter, sometimes that eats up a left-hander, so therefore we take a look at that and stay with a righty. In Johnny's case and Gomes' case in Tampa, Peralta, he had some good numbers against. The righties hit him a little better, so, those are the times that you stay with a reverse split. But I think you're seeing more and more than that these days, that certain guys have reverse splits. You look at Heron's numbers this year, and the righties are having a better time with them than the lefties are.
Johnny and Seth both be in time that #2 spot in the order. Is that just a matchup type thing? What do you like about
I think if we like the matchup against a starter, you try to get him up there at least one more time. Knowing that, in Seth's case with a guy like Downs there, you try to get a righty in there a little bit later in the game. It just gives him an opportunity maybe to get up there one more time.
Conversely, with those guys batting second, I noticed Drew's been hitting later in the lineup. Is there anything to that, or just same thing matchup?
No, because I'm not going to do much with Steven. So again, if we can get one more at bat to either Smith or Gomes in the 2 spot, that's kind of the way I'm playing it.
Do you have an injury update with Doolittle at all after getting hit in the shin yesterday?
Actually, he was hobbling around pretty good last night. I think he's better than we expected today. Whether he's usable today, I'm not sure yet. He's going to come out here and I think play catch at some point.
Where that ball hit him out? Yeah.
Left shin, kind of just above the ankle, or top of the ankle. Did that affect him? He was hobbling around pretty good last night. Oh, for the game? No, the adrenaline. It didn't bother him last night during the game. It was afterward that, you know, when you're out there pitching and you don't feel it until a little bit later.
Have you received news from Norberto's situation that makes you feel encouraged for the end of the season?
I do know he's feeling better. I think we've cleared a hurdle with how his shoulder is feeling. Now, you never know until you go out and play catch, and he's still not there yet. So if we feel like, you know, we can get him playing catch here reasonably soon, we might have him for a stretch during the course of the season. We certainly hold out hope for that because he's had a really nice year for us.
Bob, what's the biggest challenge for any team when you get into September, as far as, like, you know, guys are of course been playing 5 months out of 6 and energy level and whatnot. I mean, so how does the team just go about trying to keep their energy and their balance going?
Yeah, I think it's much a mental grind as it is physical grind. I mean, you know, maybe for guys that haven't played a full major league season, it gets a little bit physical, but I think the intensity of games of September allow you to get past the physical part. It's the mental grind that you're constantly going through. You know, as a team, you win 3, 4, 5 games and you lose a couple, and it's always ups and downs, and it's more mental for me than physical. So I think that's the part you have to fight in September. You're going to play each and every game is going to be that much more dramatic in September. The closer you get to the end, that's just the way it is, and that's the great thing about baseball.